gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet, they're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom, I'll be glad I've got 'em.
I'm sorry, your boy was born, it broke his heart. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, good night, Irene. I guess you're in my dream. Sometimes I lived in the country, sometimes I lived in town. Sometimes I had a great notion, jumping in and just rolling down.
Look at Miss Ohio, she's running around with a rag top down. She says I want to do right, but not right now. I'm gonna drive to Atlanta and live out this fantasy, running around with a rag top down. Yeah, I wanna do right, but not right now. Had your arm around your shoulder, a regimental soldier, and Mama starts pushing that wedding gown. Yeah, you wanna do right, but not right now. Oh, me, oh my, would you look at Miss Ohio? She's running around with a rag top down. She says I wanna do right, right, but not right now. Oh, honey, picture me upon your knee with T for two and two for tea, just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break an hour away, start to bake that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Yeah, baby. Picture me upon your knee with tea for two and two for tea, just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break an hour away, start to make that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Yes, we will.
gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom. I'll be glad I've got 'em.
I'm sorry, your boy was born, it broke his heart. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, and good night, Irene. I guess you in my dream. Sometimes I lived in the country. Sometimes I lived in town. Sometimes I had a great notion, jumping in and just rolling down.
Look at Miss Ohio, she's running around with a rag top down. She says I want to do right, but not right now. I'm gonna drive to Atlanta and live out this fantasy, running around with a rag top down. Yeah, I wanna do right, but not right now. Had your arm around your shoulder, a regimental soldier, and Mama starts pushing that wedding gown. Yeah, you wanna do right, but not right now. Oh, me, oh my, oh, would you look at Miss Ohio? She's running around with a rag top down. She
Says I wanna do right, but not right now.
Picture me upon your knee with T for T and do for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break an hour away. Start to bake that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Upon your knees with tea for two and two for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone.
Which is loud, piano or the voice? Both. Okay, bring the voice down a bit, please. La 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 la. It's too loud, yeah. Well, and it'll change when there's 80 people in the room. Pardon? Clear. That's what I like to hear. Okay, Jody, that's good. I think I'll plug the guitar now and try.
Is it possible? What is the purpose of this? Yeah, can we take this? Yeah. So can we take this away from here if we don't need it? But it's all there. I'll see it. Can we just put this to at least to the side? All right. You understand? Because these are family. We want to see them. It's hard to do that when you look at it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
gonna sit right down and write myself a letter and make believe it came
Jody.
from you. I'm gonna write words oh so sweet. They're gonna knock me
Okay, Jody.
off my feet. A lot of kisses on the bottom. I'll be glad
Can you cut this so it doesn't make a noise when I... Okay, here's the...
I got a gal and she loves me. She's as sweet as sweet can be. She's got eyes of baby blue. Makes my gun shoot straight and true. Gone up Crip Creek, gone in a run. Gone up Crip Creek, have a little fun. Gone up Crip Creek,
Can you hear
gone in
anything?
a whirl. Gone
The
up Crip
guitar?
Creek, find my girl. Crip Creek's wide, Crip Creek's deep. I'll make Crip Creek before I sleep. Roll my britches to my knees. Weed old Crip Creek
is the
as
plug
I
live?
please.
Is the
Gone up
plug's
Crip
live?
Creek, gone in a run. Gone up Crip Creek, have a little fun. Gone up Crip Creek, gone in a whirl. Gone up Crip Creek, find my girl.
I don't hear anything.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, and good night, Irene. I guess you in my dream. I asked your mother for you. What's she telling me? She told me that you was too young. She's 18
I don't think
years
this
old.
plug's live.
I wish,
I'm grabbing
dear Lord, that I'd never seen your face. I'm sorry, your boy was born. It broke his heart. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I guess you in my dream. Sometimes I lived in the country. Sometimes I lived in town. Sometimes I had a great notion jumping in and just rolling
I'm going to
down.
try DI1.
Oh, me, oh, my, oh. Look at Miss Ohio. She's running around with a rag top down. She says, I want to do right, but not right now. I'm gonna drive to Atlanta and live out this fantasy, running around with a rag top down. Yeah, I wanna do right, but not right now. Had your arm around your shoulder, a regimental soldier, and mama starts pushing that wedding gown. Yeah, you wanna do right, but not right now. Oh, me, oh, my, oh, would you look at Miss Ohio? She's running around with a rag top down. She says, I wanna do right, right, but not right now.
Picture me upon your knee with T for tea and do for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break and I'll awake.
Check, check.
Start to bake that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Yeah, baby. Picture me upon your knee with tea for tea and two for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break and I'll awake. Start to bake that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Yes, we will.
La 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 la. No photographs. I think that's good. I'll step back away. The guitar maybe a little bit more.
Won't sit right down and write myself a letter.
Does that sound okay? Blackbird singing in the dead of
Believe
night.
it came.
Too much of something? Okay. Jody.
I'm gonna write
Jody?
words oh so
Oh.
sweet.
Oh,
They
Jody, oh,
gonna
Jody.
knock me off my feet. A lot of kisses on
We're
the
good.
bottom.
Jody, we're good. No, I think it's fine. Maybe a little more treble on this. La 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 la. Check. What? No, a little more. I can back away from the mic. La 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 la.
I got a gal and she loves me.
Now take
She's
this.
as sweet
Oh, this
as
got.
they can be.
Yeah, it's starting.
She's got eyes of baby blue. Makes my gun shoot straight and true. Gone up to Crip Creek, gone in a run. Gone up to Crip Creek, have a little fun. Gone up to Crip Creek, gone in a whirl. Gone up to Crip Creek, find my girl. Crip Creek's wide, Crip Creek's deep. I'll make Crip Creek before I sleep. Roll my britches to my knees. Wade old Crip Creek as I please. Gone up to Crip Creek, gone in a run. Gone up to Crip Creek, have a little fun. Gone up to Crip Creek, gone in a whirl. Gone up to Crip Creek to find my girl.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, and good night, Irene. I guess you in my dream. I asked your mother for you. What's she telling me? She told me that you was too young. She's 18 years old. I wish the Lord that I never seen your face. I'm sorry your boy was born. It broke his heart. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I guess you in my dream. Sometimes I lived in the country. Sometimes I lived in town. Sometimes I had a great notion, jumping in and just rolling down.
Oh, me, oh, my, look at Miss Ohio. She's running around with a rag top down. She says, I want to do right, but not right now. I'm gonna drive to Atlanta and live out this fantasy of running around with a rag top down. Yeah, I wanna do right, but not right now. Had your arm around your shoulder, a regimental soldier, and Mama starts pushing that wedding gown. Yeah, you wanna do right, but not right now. Oh, me, oh, my, Says I wanna do right, but not right now.
Oh, honey, picture me upon your knee with T for T and two for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break an hour away. Start to bake that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Yeah, baby. Picture me upon your knees with T for two and two for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known, dear, that we own a telephone. Day will break an hour away. Start to bake that sugar cake for you to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Yes, we will.
How we doing, Jody? Yahoo! Darn, there we go. Lord have mercy, we're going to have a good time this afternoon. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, my heavens, what a great group you are. Thanks for coming. Well, for better or worse, my name is Reverend David Hayward, and I represent the Center for Spiritual Awakening. So please first know that you are deeply, deeply welcomed into your space, and it's yours. You know what I mean? Use it, enjoy it, get up whenever you want to and use the restrooms, all of that good stuff. You know, sometimes you go to these events and then there's all this gathering, you know, of the clans, of the family, and everybody's so happy to see everybody, and then the minister gets up and it's like, and everybody's praying because we have to be holy, and I don't want to do that this afternoon, but it seemed a very, very sacred space to me, and I was thinking, what's going on here? And then I thought, Bob is the prayer, and you are the answer to that prayer. Your presence here today is the answer to that prayer. And we all have quite it's not a job exactly, but it's a sacred duty. It's an appreciation to celebrate the life of this extraordinary person, Bob Muson. So here we all are together. And as we hear, I think it's good practice to sort of be here. Because, you know, I know a lot of you have conquered tundras and deserts and airports and thousands of miles of terrain on horseback to be here. And so, you know, and find hotels and get here and park the car and all that. So it's a good idea to actually be here. And what we thought we would do is do a piece called Quanta Qualia. And that'll run for about 4 or 5 minutes. And I would suggest, if I might, that you just follow your breath a little bit and put your feet on the ground and straighten your spines a little bit, if you so desire. And just be aware of your breath coming in and coming out. And as you breathe into your heart, then you can breathe out to your heart too. And that'll be our gift to each other this afternoon. So this is a very creative and gorgeous and loving space. And we honor whatever's in the room today, we honor it, whether we're grieving or sharing or just being. And I say again, your presence is the gift. So we're going to run that movie now for a few minutes. Sometimes the music is, the words are a little difficult to hear, but this is what it says. My soul, oh my soul, wait, oh wait. What joy it will be when we meet again. This human thing, I find, it's courageous being human. And we come and we go, and it's always very mysterious. 'Tis a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, to hope, to dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools, this. And a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings painful joy. 'Tis a human thing to love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. Was Yehuda Halevi, 1141. So now we're going to do some family sharing. Did you want me to read Bob's letter now or a little bit later on? Now. Okay.
From his brother,
Uncle Howard, yes, I'm sorry. So this is a letter from Howard, who is Bob's brother. Bob, my older brother, was an inspiration in many ways. And as a man who early on found his calling as an artist, he taught me a lot about painting. And his musical talents inspired me to learn to play classical music on guitar, hardly with his commitment and skill. And growing up, Bob was also an important ally in a family whose parents had a highly conflicted and fraught relationship. So sleeping in the same bedroom, we learned to cope with overhead scary arguments with, I must say, a shared sense of humor. Bob was handsome, charming, and popular. And in those early days, he read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, a bestseller at the time, and in high school, he was elected president of his class. Through most of our adult years, though, however, I only had glimpses of his life and development. Pursuing his art, he was away from the family and from me. First, perhaps attending school in Mexico, then a stretch in France, during which he met Jocelyn, and I visited him 2 or 3 times. And then their migration to the coast and to a mountain in Big Sur, where he developed carpentry skills, raised a family, and became, in his words, this outrageous macho mountain man. But, I found out a lot about my older brother's adult life, including his years in Nevada desert with Genevieve, through the long letter that he wrote when he was 60 years old to my daughter Alice, generously supporting her aspirations for a musical career. And that letter contained a plethora of revelations that will fill my memories of him. I remember him as a talented artist, a man of great shifting enthusiasms. He was always seeking the next breakthrough, the next transformation, whether it was through Dale Carnegie or Zen Buddhism or Werner Erhard. And he wanted to be liberated from the opinions of others, to be put in touch with his own true feelings as an artist and a human being. Doggedly, and sometimes in grim circumstances, Bob sought a path for himself and his beloved family to live powerfully. And through a lifetime quest of self-knowledge, he seems to have found that path, and it earned him the respect and love of countless people. Learning for itself has been my passion, he wrote in his letter to Alice. art was my entry point into the lifelong curriculum called Learning for the Sake of Learning. I'm glad Bob found his path and lived out his last years at peace, cared for by the amazing Genevieve and all his other loving family members. Thank you, Bob. All right. So now, what the family are going to share with you. Susanna, are you coming up, or Genevieve? All right.
I brought a timeline.
You'd be proud.
Yes. Is this too loud? So first, thank you for being here, all of you, in this room, and those of you who are online. We can say hello to Judy Tailbaum, Ziona Goren, Joyce Nolan, Howard and Dorothy, our Bob's East Coast family, Margie Frank. Do you all remember Margie from the old days? Many, many more people, and Mary and Ed in New Mexico, and Julie and Lisa, and the French connection. I have relatives, and I'm sure Jocelyn does too, who are watching and being with us. I know some of you, like me, lost someone precious recently. Thank you for being here. I have a million things to say about Bob, but I will keep it short. Bob and I spent 50 years together. We first met at a turning point in both our lives. That day, I was driving up the coast from Santa Barbara to Monterey to start a new teaching job. At that time, Bob was the mountain man. He was also an artist who felt stuck and needed to get back into painting. Noreen, where is Helen? Helen! Oh my God, Michael. Ah. So Bob was into Bucky Fuller. And he built a couple of domes down the coast. Geodesic domes. I was trying to not say the word because it's hard for me to say. Too late. After that, we moved to the high desert in Nevada. And the first thing we did is we built a building that became his studio. And then we built our house, a halfway underground passive solar house. Wow. It was one of the first of its kind. Actually, it might have been the first. Sunset magazine sent a photographer, but our landscaping was way too rustic, mostly sagebrush. So even though we had high hopes for an article, we didn't get one. Bob started painting again, and he painted up a storm for 5 years, going from breakthrough to breakthrough in his art and discovering that he could paint in total satisfaction from beginning to end. That was the birth of what would become later his painting seminar. During that time, Bob traveled back and forth from the high Nevada desert to the Big Sur coast to be with his family, to check up on things, to fix what needed fixing. And then another turning point. We heard about the Hunger Project and the S training. And as longtime fans of Bucky Fuller, we were enchanted. We left the desert, and after training himself, Bob became a much-loved landmark seminar leader and course leader. Timeline. So this is my Bob. He had a receptive nature. He had a knack for recognizing mastery when he saw it. He was not threatened by other people's greatness. That's a rare trait. He was not in competition with Rembrandt or Werner Erhard or Mildred Klein, his superb violin teacher. He let them train him. That made him a lovable man. That is how he learned to paint and to play the piano, the bass, the classical guitar in his teens, to speak fluent French in his 20s, carpentry, and to play the 12-string guitar and the banjo in his 30s and 40s, and to lead seminars in his 50s and 60s, and to play the violin in his 70s, and the ukulele in his 80s. As an artist, Bob had to work alone and sometimes got stuck and moody. As a natural-born leader, he needed to be with people. So he built bridges across these two ways of being. First, his life on the Big Sur coast with his first wife, Jocelyn, their children, and their friends. Second, our peaceful years in the desert and our partnership, which was strong from the start. Third, guess what? The S training. For the rest of his life, Bob's pendulum continued to swing between the arts and the work of transformation, allowing him to stay true to himself and to make a difference in the world. And he did. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, when he was 6, so we were boyfriend and girlfriend for 20 years. We had several reasons. One of them was I was a French snob and I did not believe in marriage. That was a bourgeois thing. Another reason was Bob and I too wanted to make sure that Jocelyn and their children were okay with us. When that became clear, I was still kind of poo-pooing marriage. But at 60, Bob was fed up with calling me his girlfriend. We were married by Tex Johnson and Ziona Goran was our witness. Yes. An intimate and powerful moment. You know, the difference getting married made was, even though our commitment was total, from the beginning, never wavered, no matter what. It's a little bit like there was a little back door and it just went shut. So while most of our life was a dialogue in action, our last years together were a dialogue in silence. Some of you remember the silence that gives. Yeah. As Bob's capacities diminished, his love and appreciation grew. And every day, he invented new ways to tell me, to let me know. I love living with you, he would say. Words became difficult to find, so he actually created phrases that he could say. I love living with you. Thank you for taking care of me. I love you, love you, love you. Every morning in the last 2 months of his life, Bob woke up singing. To paraphrase one of the Navajo prayers, Bob asked at the beginning of his life, "In beauty may I walk, with beauty all around me, in all seasons may I walk." At the end of his life, he could safely say, "In old age, wandering on a trail of beauty, lively I walk. With beauty all around me, I walk. In beauty, it is finished." Bob's love left me and his family complete and strong. He is alive in my heart, and I'm not saying goodbye. Thank you for your listening.
People online can't hear you.
Oh, the people online. Hold on.
They won't be able to hear you.
Thank you, Jody. Okay. All right. I'll hold it for you.
Bob, it seems like you left us. That's really impossible for you and for us. We didn't say goodbye. We didn't want to. I didn't say thank you. I want to now. Thank you for following my dreams of being free and outrageous. Thank you for the sacrifices you made, your generous labor to make our great life possible on the land in Big Sur. Thank you for our children. They learn so much from you. Thank you for following your dream of being a link to the divine, for leading us to greatness. Thank you for your words, art, songs, your compassion, your faith, your joy, your forever love. Thank you for being and celebrating with community here today the joy of eternal love and life. So it is. Thank you for Genevieve. One of the very best friends you have. And from day one.
You getting this, Dad? Hey, wake up! Pete's sake. Hi. I'm Bob's son. There's so much I want to say. And that was great, Genevieve. Thank you. Something you may not know about Bob is there was a point in his life when he decided to wear bells on his ankles because he loved the Native American Indians and their way of expressing music. And he wore them everywhere. Imagine walking with your father. You're like 8, and he's got ching, 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 ching. People are looking around, and you can't see it. But one thing that was great about it is up on the mountain, he would come down from the bedroom he had, Josine and he had up in the garden, and he was a real morning person, my dad, singing and dancing, and the bells are ringing, and he was that way. He was just in love with life, and happy, and committed. A real zest and commitment for everything he did, and you can hear it in Genevieve's description. I'm not going to talk more. There's so many stories, and I'd love for you to share your stories with me in writing, put them on my Facebook page or send them somewhere. There's so many stories. But standing in his shoes, what I'm present to is his real commitment in life was his community. He got real clear that he showed up in other people's listening and in his community. And community became the most important thing to him, and you could see it throughout his whole life. In Big Sur, his community, he was always a community man. He wasn't a solo man. He would paint by himself, but he wanted to have dinner with everybody and play music and have the community. And as his path progressed, he really gave himself to his community because for him, he showed up there. And so to his community, which is huge, and we have our landmark consultants and wisdom course leaders here representing a large body of that community. And I just want to get a sense from Christine and Helen, how many people are in Bob's community from starting as his years in a seminar leader? We're not talking more than tens of thousands, more than hundreds of thousands, a few million, maybe more, right? So, standing in Bob's shoes, I want to say to that community, my community, thank you. Thank you for the generous listening. Thank you for seeing me as a man who can be extraordinary and outrageous and for holding me to it. Thank you for giving me the place to find integrity again and again and lose it and find it again. Thank you, my community, for having me have an extraordinary life, for it happened out here in your world and in what you did with what we did and then came and shared it. I could say, I caused that. Thank you for your generous listening. I love you, the community that caused Bob Muson. Each and every one of you, get it. It's you that caused this extraordinary man people call me. Really. Thank you. Without you, I don't know what would have happened to me. And the last thing I want to thank is Warner Earhart for giving me the space and the contribution to be able to be that. So thank you, Warner Earhart, for causing this incredible man over here. You did a good job. I love you. Falling apart.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. And we have a special treat that we found, or Genevieve found in Dad's archives of favorite little short films to talk about exactly about that, about community and how important we are. So thank you all for being here. And we're definitely going to go over our timeline. We do have an agenda, and we will have time afterwards to visit. But thank you so much for being here. Oh, I'm missing a page. Do you have it, David? No, that David has it. I don't have it. Okay. So, in late December, Pop passed away in my arms after a long, slow decline from complications of dementia from such a brilliant mind. Maybe it's peaceful this way. We think it probably started about 12 years ago looking back, perhaps about the first time he didn't want to come early to the Thanksgiving gathering. This was his favorite holiday, big turkey, family and all. We thought he was just getting old and grumpy. We now realize it was the beginning of the slow decline. For our family, it has been devastating watching his mind and talent slip away. The journey was daunting for Genevieve, who lovingly and tirelessly cared for his extraordinary needs until the very last day. Dear Pop, between you and I, saying goodbye to you is a day I have dreaded my whole existence. Yet it has led me to have the deepest loving respect for you and your particular choices in life. I've written on many note cards over the years our words of wisdom, your words of wisdom, whether they came from you or were reiterated by you. That's why we have the cards back there. He always sent me home with a couple cards with something on it. I have missed and will miss the long conversations at the kitchen table, sometimes just the two of us, other times with family, but always felt they were just between you and I. They started over turkey sandwiches for lunch and then went on until dusk. You always had one more thing you wanted to tell me and be sure I understood before heading home. Thank you for the two extraordinary women you choose to be my moms. They continue together to be a guiding light. Many blessings for the wonderful adventures into the world of art, music, and humanity. As you said, it is in your bones. You are in my bones, Dad. Everything I do, I hear and feel your wisdom. With your passing, I feel a great gift and honor to have embraced your perceptions. Here are a few I have taken home with me. Choose your words carefully. They carry a weight and create a reality to be respected. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Life is not personal. We are all human beings being human. Breakdowns, problems, conflict,
They are simply opportunities to look and see what is important for you. Nature is designed to resolve problems. So when you don't know what to do nothing. Let problems resolve themselves. I love that one. Do the things you love to do and allow others to do the same. Hang out in the playground with like-minded individuals and groups. Ask people what's great about their life, and then listen. Share your enthusiasm and see what it produces. When creating art, choose tools and materials that inspire you into action to do the work. Take your time. Don't overthink it. Trust the process. Then sit back and admire what you've created. It's that simple. Never pass up an opportunity to say, I love you. So, Pop, thank you for our precious time together, your joy and enthusiasm for all of us. I'll tell you again, as I have a million times before, toodaloo, I love you. So with that, I would like to share one of Dad's favorite shorts.
I'm here to get validated.
You are awesome.
Excuse me?
You have an amazing face. You've got powerful features, man. Anyone ever tell you that?
No.
And listen, you look a little down. And it may seem like sometimes people don't understand you. But someday, man, someday, people are gonna see you for what you really are.
You really think so?
Absolutely. You are great.
Need a validation, please?
You are great, ma'am. You have amazing cheekbones.
Really?
Sir. Yes. We have a situation. Where?
Oh my gosh, ah, 6 months old.
What the hell's going on?
Yes, that is so sweet.
You've been through it. You know. You've had so much life experience that other people don't appreciate, but you know.
Bless you, dear.
They're not patronizing the shops. They're just coming to see him.
Oh, sir. You're in great shape. You work out?
Not for long.
I do, actually, a bit. Yeah, thanks.
Young man, we are running a business here, not a social club.
That is a fantastic suit. It really flatters you.
You think so?
You guys work so hard. You are the backbone that keeps this place running.
It always felt like no one really appreciated us.
Yeah, I mean, our jobs are so stressful, and it seems like most of the times people just don't see it.
No, what you do is so important.
You know, I bet the boss would love to meet you.
You are great. You provide hundreds of jobs, sustaining hundreds of families. That's huge.
That's so good to hear. Most times I feel like people don't recognize that. I'm just the big bad man on the hill.
Not at all. You give.
You know, I know some people who would probably like to meet you.
Mr. President, no matter what people say about you, you have still got a great golf swing. God bless you. You do. You have a fantastic mustache. I bet Burt Reynolds and Tom Selleck look at you and get envious. I'm not kidding.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
parking and free compliments.
New leaf. A very big new leaf.
Your license is expired, sir.
That is why you're great at what you do. You are so thorough.
Really? You think so?
Hugh, what is your secret?
I just love to see people smile.
It seems there is no one Hugh Newman cannot make smile. Next!
Welcome to the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Now ferreting B331 at window number 19.
No one smiles in their driver's license photo, sir. It's not allowed. Next! Next!
You are amazing. You are so efficient.
Next!
Victoria. Oh, that's a beautiful name.
Next!
You take such good care of your equipment. Oh, they're lucky to have you.
We're closed, sir.
Victoria. I just want to see you smile.
Good night, sir.
Where do I go for...
We don't validate, sir. Next!
They match your eyes. Sorta. Oh, you have the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen.
Next.
You eat healthy, too. See, you take good care of yourself. That's awesome.
See? You're even a great pet owner. You're giving her a full hour's walk. Most people wouldn't take the time, but you care. Oh, boy, do you care.
Have you ever smiled?
Yes,
When?
when I was a little girl.
Oh, I bet you had a beautiful smile. What happened to it?
Next!
Look like anyone you know?
Next!
There's color and black and white.
Next! Next!
I just wanted to see you smile.
I'm sorry. Next!
I'm here to get validated, please.
You're... okay, I guess.
Okay. Did you say okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Don't you have anything else to say?
What's the point?
Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Could you take our picture? Thanks, I really appreciate it.
It's our first time here.
Smile. It's not a real smile. You guys love each other? You're on vacation, traveling the world? God, that's great. Wish I could travel the world with the woman I love. Wish I could have someone take our picture. I'd really smile. You guys have every reason to smile. You're gorgeous. You're in the prime of your lives. And you guys are great. Hold it right there. Now that is a smile. Hey, one more, right here. Oh, that's excellent. One more. Beautiful, beautiful. Here, look at each other. Oh, fantastic couple. What do you love most about your wife?
She accepts me, despite knowing.
Where did you meet?
On jury duty.
Oh, served your country and met the love of your lives. You guys are awesome. Beautiful, beautiful. Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Excuse me. You get the most sincere smiles out of people I've ever seen. You want to make some extra money shooting stuff like this?
Pardon me, folks. Sorry to interrupt. You're a beautiful couple. Are you models?
No.
Would you like to be? You have two of the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen.
Excuse me?
Your eyes, they're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. And your dress matches your eyes. It's perfect. May I?
Okay.
What do you love most in all the world?
My daughter. She has the most wonderful smile.
Hello. I have a 310 cleaning. Hugh Newman.
Hello, Hugh. Can you just put your driver's license on there when you're done?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey, man. How did you... You're smiling. But she... Did you... Excuse me, sir. Where's Victoria?
You know, work here, she was fired.
Fired? Why?
You was smiling. Look at this. She did these. Look at that. They're all smiling. Look at that. Those pictures suck. They're not supposed to smile. They're smiling. Look at that. They're all suck.
Where is she?
You are awesome. Thank you. You're going to have so much fun on this trip. The stories you're going to tell people when you get back will be amazing. I can't wait. I've always wanted to see Paris.
Understand. I tried everything. What happened?
When I was a little girl, my mother got very sick, and she stayed that way. And over the years, she just got so sad that she forgot how to smile. And seeing her like that, I couldn't smile either. And I didn't for years. But then one day, a young man came up to her and told her how beautiful she was. So beautiful that he wanted to take her picture. He made her smile. And suddenly, after all those years, she got better. I knew it was you. I looked everywhere for you, but I couldn't find you anywhere. I went to every garage in town. I paid every fee they had, but I couldn't find you.
Paid for parking? For me?
Yes. Because you are great. You are amazing.
No one has ever said that about me before.
Are you crying? I'm crying. Oh, wow. All right. How are we? Yeah? Fabulous space. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now for your continuing pleasure, and at enormous expense to the management, music from Jim.
Would cross the street once in a while and come and play her guitar for Bob.
Everyone. Okay. Wanted to play for Bob and for you all. I thought there was a music stand.
Fine, miss, you've got this into this time, Jesse.
Nice. My roadies, okay.
Roadies.
Yeah. Oh, that's just fine, thank you. In fact,
You want a fan?
Yeah.
She and her husband Pete bought Bob's violin when he stopped playing for his son James, who made that violin sing, I'm telling you.
Just. I'm honored to play for you all and for Bob. I'm honored to know Bob and Genevieve and Jocelyn, and I've learned so much.
You have to speak louder.
I learned a lot from Bob over the years. He taught me how to speak in public, but I didn't have a microphone. But every time I speak in public, the first thing I do is say, welcome. My name is Catherine Brose. Thank you all for being here. And every time I say that, I think of Bob, which is every day. So, and he taught me a lot of other things, but I just wanted to say that. That was huge. He gave me a lot of confidence and was a mentor for me. Are you okay, Jim? You're okay. Would you like the foot stand? Yes. I'll leave.
Mr. Fowler, our lovely Mrs. Fowler, did you write these songs too?
I have not yet written a song for Bob Muson. Yeah. This is actually 3 songs. No, actually, I don't. Yeah. I was in many of Bob's seminars, and I remember him coming out one night and saying, "You know, we ought to just get together with guitars and sing and have some pizza. What do you think?" And that was the most generous. No, that's good. Thank you, though. It was just generous. So I have 3 songs that Susanna and I agreed upon to sing, and this is one of his favorites, also one of mine. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Thank you. Thank you. Give me a moment to move to the piano because Susanna and I, she wanted a song that Bob would sing to you. and we kept it a secret. You didn't want. Remember last night we were having dinner, and don't tell me. Well, we're going to tell you now. And it's a song that written by Badfinger. Sounds like a bad name, but they're one of the first artists that Beatles Apple Enterprise signed on, and it's called No Matter What.
I know, we're going to do that in a minute, after the intro, I think. Anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do now is open the mics for some public sharing, if you'd like to do that. So you can come up here and use this mic. This is a great mic, but probably not good popping right into it like that. So if you imagine it's got two grapefruits either side, and you go this way or that way. And if you need to move it down over your shoulder, you can just do that a little bit. Or we've got the mobile mic right here. So the first one is going to be Robert Ponte, and he's going to share in a minute. I think, Jim, you've got one more tune, yes?
Yeah, and before Bob speaks and allows or introduces or invites you to speak, I'm going to sing one more song that John Denver wrote. And he wrote it to really express what was available in the S training, the 6-day course, all the work of transformation. And it's called Looking for Space. On the road of experience, trying to find my own way. Sometimes I wish that I could fly away. how it seems. I get lost in the sadness and the screams. And I look in the center, suddenly everything's clear. I find myself in the sunshine and my dreams. And I'm looking for space to find out who I am. And I'm looking to know and understand. Sing with me if you want. It's a sweet, sweet dream. Sometimes I'm almost there. Sometimes I fly like an eagle. Sometimes I'm deep in despair. On the road of experience, join in the living day. If there's an answer, it's just that way. When you're looking for space and to find out who you are. When you're looking to try and reach the stars. Sometimes I'm almost there. Sometimes I fly like an eagle. Sometimes I'm in despair. Sometimes I fly like an eagle. Like an eagle. I go flying high. Thank you.
All right. He may not need this introduction, but my father had a way of adopting extremely powerful people into our family. And this is one that we love very much. And my dad had a big place in his heart for Robert, as Robert did for my father.
You know, we're here because of Robert.
Yeah.
He called me every other day and said, "Are you going to have this service while I'm still here?" Thank you, Robert, for making this happen.
Let us see your lips there, handsome. Mr. Ponte, ladies and gentlemen, world-renowned Robert Ponte.
Thank you.
Don't screw it up, Robert.
Robert, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Bob was in my age. We'd meet for the last 50 years or so. Maybe every 3 months, I'd come to Carmel and take him to lunch. Bob and I, because we were both the same age, almost, and a lot of experience, and we were madly in love with one very hard. So I could not drive down from San Francisco every 3 months and say, let's go to lunch, Bob. We had a special place across from the firehouse. And we would just sit there, and we'd take over and sit for hours. But what was very unusual is, like Bob spoke to a lot of you, you heard his voice. Bob didn't speak to me in words. Bob spoke to me in communication that was silent. We recognized each other's hearts. We didn't talk like seminarians. The only one we really spoke about love was Werner. He fed us. But Bob spoke to me in a different way. I guess only two old men can speak that way. And he started, we would talk, simple, you know. But then he started sending me psychic messages. He started sending me thoughts, ideas. And like Bob spoke to me, get out there. Get rid of what you've got inside. He spoke to me in a way like, I could not just sit there and not get bombarded by Bob's contagiousness. But you didn't hear him. So I went home last month or two and I wrote. Well, I wrote all my contagious connections with this. I would say he even looked a little like me, maybe. But somehow he had for me, I wasn't his girlfriend. I wasn't his boyfriend. I was not his child. But you know when two freaky angels meet in the sky, they do things that most people don't know, don't see. I had to have faith in me because I was speaking with Bob, who had faith in himself, and he had a lot of faith in me. But he would ask me the ridiculous impossibilities to do. And I knew, because his buddy Werner and I were, I did the first training. And I was around Werner all the time, a lot. I even dressed his wife for the opera and the symphony. I even went into Werner's closet. But I always say Werner, he was my life, Bob's life, the world's life. So, when one light talks, it's nice and it goes on. But when two lights talk, we're more than two. And that's what happened with Bob and me. Why we wouldn't talk is we didn't want to fight with each other. And he knew I could put it out like he did. So we didn't talk, oh, something's not working here, my life's not working. None of that baby stuff. We were way beyond that. We were two people who met many centuries ago, probably. And we looked at each other. I was good looking, he was great looking, And he started sending me messages. And I'd go home and say, God, he's asking so much of me. What do I do? But he was going into my essence, my being, and releasing it. He was very magnetic. And I would just let him talk, because you don't see a lot of people of such a high desire. And for the one person we loved in a very special way. So first of all, one of the things he told me, and it started happening, I went to Whole Foods store. And I stood in front of the flowers. Flowers, the entrance, they have all those pretty flowers. And for over 20 years, I ate lunch in Whole Foods store. I was their main customer. So I look at the flowers, and one day I started crying. And then I started laughing. And then I saw Bob. I said, am I crazy? What's going on? So when I looked at the flowers, I saw the giggles of God. And Bob used to giggle quietly to me. He would almost say to me, he let me know, he says, you wait someday, you're going to see it. We spoke like buddies, we were not, he never gave a seminar for me, though Bob was a coach. He was a consultant. He was a mentor. He was even a trainer. If they changed the word of what a trainer is, that was Bob. It's sort of like we met someplace in the heavens, and we came down around the same time. So I saw the giggles of God. And when I think of this thing, giggles of God, why are these flowers the giggles of God? See, I started going through insane metamorphosis. It wasn't horrible. It was like I was at a symphony. Things started happening to me, and I had the mouth and the courage and the background, show business. I mean, he even thought one day, he said to me, not in words, he said, why don't you go meet that lady, Oprah? I said, Oprah. I knew when he said it that he was speaking my language from him. See, we were crazy friends. We were friends who could have met in a meadow or on the ocean, but we met. So I want to give these flowers, they're called the Giggles of God, to my friend who never stopped making me hear the giggles of God. All right? Now, so I couldn't get rid of the live ones because I wanted her to know it and keep them. So, you know, you give this to whoever you're in love with.
Right here.
Thank you, Robert. All right, now, I'm not done.
What do you got?
A little bit. I got to talk now what he spoke to me that we haven't heard today. See, Bob spoke, he said, love is the only reason for living and the sole purpose of life. There ain't anything else. How could he love me, this outrageous guy from New York, from around the world, and I was going to go see Oprah? How'd that happen? He read my being, he gave me his being, and when two get together, you know what that's like. Two wacko, freaky, aware, conscious, loving, sensitive men. He was very sensitive, and I was an artist, and I taught in art school. So he said, love is the sole reason for being and the sole purpose of life. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You could sit there and love, but I know you're not getting me 100%. So he taught me something. See, our Bob kept watch. He kept watch over us. He said we can be brothers, sisters, or burden lifters. We are burden lifters. Now, he didn't say it in these words. He gave me the meaning of what those things are. The children were my sisters and brothers. The wives were my grandmas. They were very special. I mean, Bob would not marry a woman who wasn't a strong aspect of the divine. He was so in love, I guess he didn't know what to do. He would be screwing everybody in the world if he did that. But he found two hot mamas who made fabulous children, who made fabulous love. One spoke with a French accent. She was so amazing. Me, a gay guy, I fell in love with her. So he said, Robert, we are able to live only if there is love. But you know, the word he used about love in his metaphysical exchanges was bliss. See, there's nothing different when someone says love each other, it's saying bliss them. See, in the movies he said smile. He was in that stage of bringing it out into the world. So we all smiled. Now, I don't know what you're feeling, but I know what I'm feeling. What else will I do? He said, love is not something new which we have to acquire. It's a place in the heart within every one of us. It's the place of love. Everyone sees the same inner love at least once. Somehow, when Anne-Marie looks at Jess, there's a special love. Do you know all the men that want her and all the women that want Jesse and all the men that want Jesse? Do you understand? I mean, you look at them, you can't believe what's going on. Bob's juice was beauty producing. Really, no. And people say, oh, you're going to be careful, they might get shocked. Oh, screw you. That's Bob didn't care if he shocked people. He had to shock them out of their death thing. See, yeah, but Bob was, I wrote a whole book. There's so much, I said, no, I'm not going to do that kind of thing. We don't have time. Susanna would throw me out. See, Bob kept saying, you must taste the bliss. You must feel that everyone out there is you. They're all you. Now I want you to get this. Take your right hand, put it out to the side, and your left hand, and hold somebody's hand. Stretch if you have to. You need the stretch. It's good. And you know what Bob said? This is what he said. Listen, take it home. Bob said, hugging, touching is healthy. Bob said, hugging is healthy. It helps the body immune system. It cures depression, reduces stress, induces sleep, is invigorating, rejuvenating, and has no unpleasant or harmful effects. Hugging is nothing less than a miracle drug. Now, you know, see, Bob and I spoke in our own language. Two old men who had come awake. He said, hugging is all natural, organic, and naturally sweet. With no pesticides, preservatives, or artificial ingredients. See, I'm talking about my Bob. Because Bob was me. I never saw him as any different.
Okay, Robert.
I,
You're going over time.
have I already?
Yes.
Compared to everybody else? See, that's what happens. All right, hugging is practically perfect. No periodic checkups are needed. No movable parts or batteries to wear out. It's very low on energy consumption. Hugging is inflation-proof, non-taxable, non-polluting, and of course, fully returnable. I brought candles, but I can't light candles in this wonderful church. So take a candle when you go. I'll be by the door. You go home, you light it, and you talk to Bob. And one other thing. Bob taught me how every morning to sit down and write a prayer to God. What you thank God for, what you ask for, what you've gotten. You've got to really be. See, we don't ask enough of God. We don't. We are chintzy. We don't have a chintzy God. We are not chintzy. Move,
Except
come
for
on.
with time, Robert.
I'm sorry.
No. Thank you. Just be with everybody.
It's a different. When you live in the heart of Bob, you live fully.
Hey, Bob, thank you so much. All right.
All right.
So
What do you want, sweetie?
I just want to say, I know we've gone beyond the time. So, I know, but Genevieve said an hour and a half. No one's going to want to stay longer than that. Anyway, I want to say that we'd like to give people a chance to share about Dad. And we ask if you keep it about a tenth as long as...
2 minutes or less.
Please share, in 30 seconds. And then afterwards, I've prepared a little box of Dad's favorite treats. I bake for him all the time, and I baked for him for the last time. And we'll be having those in the other room, and we can mingle and share together. But I really wanted to give people a chance who wanted to say something. Yeah. But please keep it short, so that, you understand, right?
Hey, Jesse. I'm Jesse. I'm wondering, do you want to run the mic? Can you run that mic, and that might just save us a little time.
Testing. Christine Arbor, ladies and gentlemen.
So I just want to say it occurred to me as not an accident that Bob and Brian Regnier died just at about the same time. And for those of you who don't know Brian Regnier, he's the person who invented the Wisdom Course and the Wisdom Course area programs that Bob led, and was an amazing, beautiful man. And I just know that Bob and Brian and Margie Parrott and others are dancing together in heaven without question. And Jesse mentioned Helen and I, and we really are here on behalf of many who would be, many of the Wisdom Course leaders and many of the other consultants, Tobin and Marcy and et cetera. So I just really want to say it's just a privilege and a pleasure to be here, and we love you like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Gahuli.
Hello. Hi. Well, I just want to say that, be short, that when Bob began to lead seminars, really Genevieve did all the work. But I did something. I know I was here. And I don't know if I was here with the Wisdom Course too. I can't remember. But it was a long, long time ago. But anyway, I love Bob. And I really, when Noreen said, Helen, I'll pick you up and we can go together, it was like, wow, because I really wanted to be here today for Bob and for Genevieve and for all of you people, that it's so great, and it's so great the community that you have here together is really, really wonderful, and that all that they shared about love, that's what's here. That's who you are, and it's really, really beautiful. The guy who was validating people, you've all validated. So that's all I have to say, and I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you. And Bob, you are one of many, but one of Bob's most special people in the world.
Wow,
and he shared that a lot, and he had a picture of you, behind him all the time. Wow. It was you and Brian and Warner and John Denver and Buckminster Fuller, and you were there. Just so you know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Bob just has such a special place in my heart, and I don't know, we've known each other for 20, 30 years, I don't know. Long time, yeah, and he was my seminar leader and my friend and my Wisdom Course leader, and one of the special things that we shared was our bond of being hippies in the 60s, in the 70s. And boy, did we have fun sharing stories about the days in Big Sur and Esalen, and found out later that he had been at the Esalen event with Joni Mitchell and Crosby, Stills and Nash and, Joan Baez. He went to jail that night, yes. I didn't know him then, but I was there at the same time, And I just, I don't think I've known a more generous, kind-hearted, loving person to just listen, and boy, did I make him listen to a lot of my tales of woe and And he would just listen and coach me and just love me until I was back to myself again. So thank you for doing this. It's so wonderful. Thank you.
Raise your hand. Oh, Jerry's.
I love Bob, and he is a person that I think about every single day of my life. And I did the wisdom course with Bob. Not with, no, I didn't do the wisdom course with Bob, but I did the wisdom course, and I had coursework parties at my house, and he came every single week. Thank you, Vaughn. And early on, he took me to task because there was this project that you had to do, and it was due the next weekend, an autobiography. And I said, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. He said, you have to at least do the basic. You have to get a C on it. It's like, okay. So I took an afternoon off work. I was afraid to get pictures. I finally figured out I could just take a picture of myself and make a photocopy of it. Done. And so then I worked, each night, maybe 10 minutes, maybe a couple hours. Well, by the time that weekend came, I got an A on my autobiography. But what I learned from Bob is I can do things quickly, and they don't have to be perfect. And I use that every day of my life. I can make the soup, just chop the vegetables in big pieces. It doesn't matter. So I love Bob. Thank you, Jesse.
Freedom.
Hi, everyone. My name's Tony Montreal, and I see so many faces. I was one of the seminar leaders who had the privilege of working with Bob. He trained me when I first got into the program. And to be with such an amazing guy, he really, really taught me how to let go and just be fully self-expressed in a way that I never even knew was possible. And like a lot of you, all the conversations we had about the early days with Warner and the magnificence of that. But when I got to lead in Monterey, I led the last couple of seminars in this community. And, hi, Debbie. And having him there with me in the audience, giving me critiques afterwards. And I remember he said this thing to me that was so beautiful, and it really stayed with me the whole time I led seminars, was he goes, you have the ability to put on those velvet gloves when you coach, and you just really leave people with, what just happened? And he was just so special to me. And thank you so much for family for providing this for all of us to complete with Bob. Also, on behalf of Faye Steele, I just want to say she sends her love. And I told her that I was coming here today. So, yeah. So, yeah. Love you. Love you.
Tara, another daughter of Bob's, adopted.
I don't know about that. So I think, if I recall correctly, I've known Bob since I was 5 years old. And I'm 60-something now, so that's quite a few years. And I hear a lot of his appreciation for his transformation with the Est and Warner and Landmark. And it's really incredible how many lives he touched and affected and was there for. And I knew him quite well before the transformation, and it definitely was a transformation. There was a time when the drinking and the partying was so extreme that I was a young person, and the grown-ups were all drinking and partying until he was playing his guitar and any instrument that was there, and his artistry and his joyousness. And he got naked and threw his pants in the fire. And I went, oh my God. So I hauled them out, and he turned to me, he said, "You're just like your mother." And at the time, being a young person, you're like, was that good or bad? You know? And then I actually said, well, thank you, because his wallet and his goodies were in there. So I saw that part, but huge passion, huge connection, huge art. I grew up with art in my life in a big way because of Bob. And he actually started the coloring book, Big Sur Moon and Sun and Moon, I think. He would, yeah, something like that. He would draw up in pen and ink one page at a time and pass it out to, put it in mailboxes sometimes or hand it to a kid. And we all kept saying something like, put it together, do a coloring book. And we'd collect them, and I think it supported him in doing the coloring book. And the oh, no way. That's great.
My mom copied them. She's so great at keeping. Helen, your mom saved them.
Yeah.
And my mom copied them, and now
Yeah.
they're on the video.
Yeah, so you can feel the history that we have that is before and during and after Bob's transformation. So I felt like his mom sometimes. And I also felt like his daughter a lot of times, because Susanna and Leah and Jesse and Etienne were my family. They were my brothers and sisters. So it was all bundled up. Thank you. And thank you, family, for doing this.
Wonderful. Anybody else want to say anything? Anybody? Anybody? Yes, over here. Wow. Michael.
I'm not a big fan of the bent necks, so my gift to you, just a public. A public thanks. My life's amazing. I've got an amazing relationship, live in an amazing place, have an amazing career, meet amazing people. So I think the coolest thing I could do for Bob is to continue to kick ass in that arena. Yeah, thanks.
Well said. Anybody else? So I feel the same way. Amazing life. I didn't really want to talk about myself before, but my life is sourced by him and my amazing relationship, my ability to be with people and be in love with them. Thank you, Dad. And Barbara Evans, another long-time friend.
Well, or the back. I'm Barbara Evans. I met the Muson family on day one when I moved here from Los Angeles in 1968. I was driving up the canyon and I picked up Jocelyn and Leah, who were hitchhiking to go home. They'd been at the library. We'd heard about the Muson family from their neighbors, the McGiverns. We knew about this family that lived up on the mountaintop in a tent. And that whole summer, every day we drove up in our Volkswagen on that road. It killed the car 1 year worth. And we had our dinners up there on the mountainside and hung out in the tent singing, and Bob making fun of me because I'd fall asleep and hold my head and he'd make fun of me. Then in years later, he did capture us in New York City, trying to get us to go to an EST meeting. So he did get us to go a couple of times to some S meetings, but that was it. We just went a couple of times to the meetings. Listening to you all has been really inspiring. It's so great to hear the parts of the life that you missed, that you weren't there for. And I remember Bob telling this story about the butcher he'd go to see at the market. And he had a wonderful laugh. Bob's laugh was just so infectious and wonderful. And he'd be very outrageous sometimes, it's true. But the one thing that sticks in my mind was this story about the butcher. And he'd mimic him. He'd go see the butcher, and the butcher would say, "What you want now, Bob?" And I think Bob's message to us all is love.
Sliced and wrapped up, or any way you like it, love. Anybody else like to say anything? Again, if you have stories about Bob, please send them to me and then post them on my Facebook page or Genevieve's or anything. We'd love to hear the stories. Ziona wrote a wonderful thing that just rests, right? And it's on Genevieve's Facebook page, and it really gives you a sense of what some people did with Bob that we didn't see, which was really special and great. It's time. Okay. David.
Thank you, Jesse. I don't know what to say. You're all so amazing. It's been an amazing afternoon. Is everybody feeling complete? Are we sure there's nobody that needs to say anything? Jesse, yeah, please.
Just one last thing I wanted to say. If you're interested at all in the Landmark Wisdom course or the Landmark Forum, you can talk to me or Christine Arbor over here. Or other pieces. We have registration cards in the back. And we can go online and find out dates. And just want you to know it's really about you living a life you love powerfully, whatever that looks like. Thank you.
There is nothing else to say, folks. That's all. Whoa. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you for honoring us. Thank you.